Hello again, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back with yours truly, the counselor, Mr. James Horton. I am going to be talking about a topic called, what would they say about you if you died today at your funeral? What would they say if you died today at your funeral about who you were? When people come up to speak and share their experience and their strengths and their hopes for you, what would they say your walk was like when you after you die? Would they say things that, oh, you accepted Christ at 10 years old, you became an usher in the church, you became an assistant to the pastor, you was a community activist, you love your community? Would they say you walked old ladies across the street? Would they say just wonderful, wonderful things about you? Or would these people be there just to make sure that you were dead? Would these people come there being grateful that you're not causing havoc on the earth anymore? What would they say about you? Would they have to lie, about you? Would they just make up some stuff, right? Or would they just be very, very devastated that you're not here anymore? So these things are very interesting. I asked this question because the question was asked to me in the year of 1999. I had went into a substance abuse program to deal with my drug addiction and my drug problem that I had been living with for over 14 years. The problem that I had with having nowhere to live and nowhere to stay because I chose to keep using and abusing drugs. So they asked me, they said, Mr. Horton, Mr. James Horton. I said, yes, I wasn't counselor yet. They said, if you died today, they want us to write a eulogy. It's about 30 people or something like that in the group. Write a eulogy out saying, what would people say about you if you died before you came to this program? What would people say about you at your funeral if you died today? So I remember writing my name down and everybody taking turns going up there. Then before I knew it, it was my turn to go and sit or stand at the podium. When it was my turn, I began to cry. It was like, and the people in there was like, hey, why are you crying? I was crying because I thought about all the years I had been down. I thought about laying on the ground unconscious. I thought about going to Highland Hospital over 80 times. I thought about just being dead. I thought about not changing my clothes for months. I thought about just being dirty and nothing. And I mean, I know that many of us as men we come from a low place. I know that they say God has created us from the dirt, but I was dirty all the time. It was very impacting because I thought and I felt no one would come to my funeral. No one would take off work. No one would leave the block, leave the corner, leave the storefront. They would not come to my funeral because I had been dead already. Everybody knew that I was going to die. Everybody knew that I was 75% on the scale dead already. So it was like, why would they come to my funeral, right? I had given them something to say, hey, he's not even worth it. It's interesting that people treat you as they see you treating yourself. So I was treating myself pretty bad. So I got the treatment of that. So in many funerals, you have to ask yourself, would they say that you was a loving guy, a loving young man? Would they say that you accepted Christ, whether you're a woman or a man, at the age of 10? Would they say that you helped old ladies and old men across the street when they needed you? You went and checked on the elderly? Would they say that you went and visited your grandmother and them in the senior citizen home? Would they say that you went around the neighborhood giving flowers, plants, and roses to elderly women on Mother's Day? Would they say that you was a great, great person? Or would they be saying things like, oh, I'm so glad he gone? Would they come to the funeral just to make sure you were dead because you may have been a person that went around your neighborhood and other places causing havoc? Would they say that you were a person that cared less about life and about other people's life, including your own? Would they say that you were a person that just loved going back and forth to jail, bragging about, you somebody, you got stripes now because you was in the pen? Would they say these kind of things, right? Now, when I was asked the question, I began to cry. They said, "Why are you crying?" I said, "Because nobody would have came to my funeral." Oh, that was an awful feeling. But it was also a great feeling because I had woken up. I had awakening to a place to where I have a chance to rewrite my obituary. And I have done that. In the years that I've been off drugs, in the years that I've changed and turned the other leaf, in the years that I said, no, I'm not going to live like I lived at 16 years old no more. And all the stuff that I thought was really, really great to do. Going against my own people, fighting other neighborhoods, doing all this stuff, following the lead of some ignorant stuff. I mean, I've changed. So since I've changed, the people that I've helped as I became the counselor is over 7,000 individuals. And that includes women too, men and women. I have touched the lives of many. I've done great work. I have found a purpose in life. You know, before I didn't know what I wanted to be. I was asked question 2, what do you want to be when you grow up? I was very old, had gotten really up in age, and did not know what direction I wanted to go in. So to tell someone what I wanted to be, I did not know, you know. But God knew. God knew. And so I suggest you do as I've done. Find a purpose in life, because a life without a purpose is a life not worth living. A life, again, write this down, a life without a purpose from your counselor is a life not worth living, right? You don't want nobody lying about your story. You don't want nobody telling your story other than you. You're supposed to tell your own story. And you're supposed to be grateful with your story. Don't mesmerize and falsify your story. Be who you are and be the greatest who you are you can, right? That is my suggestion for you. But I want you to really, really think about yourself laying up here in that casket, right? Laying up here in that casket, right? Saying, boy, you know, with any of the women I talk to come up here and say something great, or would they say how abusive I was, how violent I was, how I hated my mama, so I hate all women. Would they say, I hated my mama and daddy, so I hate my daddy, I hate all men? What would they say about you if you died before making the great change that you need to make in your life, right? So we got a chance. We got also a second chance at a first guy's life. But do you want it? Are you willing to work for it? Because it's going to take some work. It's going to take a lot of work, especially if you've gone down the wrong street. You made a left turn on second-class seat for a second-class seat. You can change this, as I've done. You can change it, but it's going to be some work. But guess what? It's worth it. Okay, that's it for yours truly, the counselor, Mr. James Horton. Thank you for attending my class.